All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai by Shem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostle, Nels, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to you, brothers. Preaching truth throughout the four winds. I'm going to speak on fools. And when I say fools, I mean people who are unable to understand Scripture. The things they come up with, it just makes them look really foolish. It's like stupidity. Like when you go in Genesis and you ask about the serpent, they think it was a real snake, and they think that Adam and Eve bit into an apple, a forbidden fruit. They think it was a fruit, an apple, And these are just things that let you know everyone isn't qualified to have a conversation that's meaningful. They can't get past things that's just like common sense. And that's why the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai was set forth to break down strongholds of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So when they can't receive it, you kind of like, just keep it pushing. That's why it's not good for debates, like on a set stage. Because you got to understand, man, these people are not going to get the understanding of what the scriptures truly mean. Okay? This is Ecclesiastes 10:5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. So the ruler, Esau and like the things that set over this place, and things that's said, things that's done. And it says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. So rich in knowledge, we're so low that knowing the truth, when we speak it up to everyone else in this physical world, that they're not going to be able to receive it, because spiritually we're high, but physically we're low, and what people believe what they see. So if Joel Osteen or T.D. Jakes or whoever, they speak, people think that they mean something because they're somewhere physically in a high place, but spiritually they're dead. So that's why folly is set in great dignity. People believe madness, and I mean they believe madness. These people, Peter Popoff, send in your money, I'm gonna send you a bag of water. You know what I'm saying? Straight from Galveston. And send you some water straight from Galveston, and these folks eating it up. So it's just dealing with fools is pointless. Sirach 22:7-13, it says, whoso teacheth a fool is as one that glueth a pot shred together, and as he that waketh one from the sound sleep. Talk not much with the fool. So basically it's saying in the first one, whoso teacheth the fool is one that glueth a pot shred together. So if you break a vase, or if you break something and you're gluing it back together, it's no way it's going to basically hold water. Water is knowledge, according to Scripture. Okay, so trying to teach someone that's foolish and set in their ways, they won't be able to hold knowledge of the Scriptures, because clearly this example, it gives you a fool, telling you about a fool, so they can't get it. And as he that waketh one from a sound sleep. So if you wake someone up, their brain isn't totally functioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just waking up. Somebody trying to tell you something when you just waking up. You looking around like, man, I'm trying to gain consciousness. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So you can't teach a fool because they love sleep. They love the slumber. Talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Be aware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. So it's basically telling you, get away from them. Okay? Run, because they'll tell you things and you looking at them like, bro, what are you talking about? And then once you get, let's say if you get 4 or 5 people around and they believe the same foolishness when you're bringing the truth out, now you're caught up in a web because everybody's looking at you like, man, you crazy. And this person is talking. It makes sense to them because they're all fools. Okay? It says, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. So don't get caught up in the madness, you know what I'm saying? Because it can make you look crazy if you're around a lot of people and you're speaking the truth, but everybody can't get it. It's like, basically, you know not to deal with idiots. Okay? Proverbs 14:7. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Once you peep him, you like, man, this dude don't know what he's talking about. You know, so instead of engaging and trying to teach this person, the scriptures is telling you, hey, just go away from them, because their mind is set and they're not going to listen, but they think they know something. Like, they're just, it's stupidity. They think they know something, but they have no idea. Okay, Proverbs 17:10. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. So you think about that. Correction entereth into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. So you can tell a wise man something, and they're going to receive it, and they're going to humble themselves. But a fool, you can try to beat it into them, and they're not going to get it, because they're so set on proving you wrong, instead of realizing and understanding that what you're doing is actually of the scriptures. Okay? Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. Man, that's crazy. Robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than, I mean, it's so crazy that, like, the comparisons of dealing with someone who has no idea what they're talking about. It just tells you, it shows you that it's like you'd rather be in situations that's very uncomfortable than deal with fools, because, like, it's irksome to you. You know, you're like, man, bro, you sound stupid. It's because that spirit upon the men of Yahweh Shem Yahshua that actually knows what they're talking about, they don't get it, you know? So it looks crazy. Even something simple as going into the curses. You know, now let these clowns tell it. We were already here. Where are the slave ships at? Like, this is how they're thinking now. It's just like, man, it's full. And watching these people get information, they regurgitate it and don't do no homework. We're already here. We ain't come over here on no slave ships. We was already, like, man, these people are fucking out of there. Okay. It says, he that beggeth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, And the father of a fool has no joy. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. So it is countless people that will be considered fools. They're all around. Okay? They're everywhere. And the thing is, you don't want to be seen as that person from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, it say a foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness of her that bore him or bear him. So foolishness comes in all forms. You know, you have Jake just do some of the dumbest shit, some of the dumbest things. You know, and it's two clowns running around right now in skirts in the malls. It's talking about this is a new fashion. It's foolishness, but you'll see people big up in it, saying that, well, it's their clothing brand. They're pushing their clothes. Like, bro, people with common sense understand that this is crazy. You know, but folly is set in great dignity. So with that, I'll say shalom.